Hi, I'm here with Todd Hoffman from IPS, reporting from Cannex, Denver. We have some new solutions for you, so I'm going to pass over to Todd, who will describe their two new offerings. So take it away.
Thank you. Thanks for making the time. IPS is known as a solution-based company, and what we really try to focus on are solutions for can makers. We've got a lot of experience in our organization as can makers, and so we're always putting ourselves in that position to come up with new, innovative services, products, and training perspectives. We've got a couple of new things that we'd like to show that are AI-based, so artificial intelligence-based. And so let's look at the first one that we're calling Spoil Track. Let's see. So Spoil Track is based on the idea that it's really important to understand where the spoilage is happening throughout the entire production line. So as we've animated here, we've got a bunch of resources and people walking around. They're very specific to certain machines or certain areas, either front end or back end. And what you can see is there's a lot of maybe wasted motion or time. Our solution is to come in and support a lot of those workers and really build kind of a data tracking system. So the idea being we place cameras in amongst certain aspects where mass conveying is happening, and we can really identify down cans, turned over cans, really the things that create a lot of problems, not only for those specific cans, but a multitude of cans around them and cause problems at the machine level. So if the expectation when you make cans, and we kind of show a representation here that you kind of expect maybe 2,000 cups based on your production run. So what you would do is you would go through each section, integrating these areas where we're actually putting these cameras in place, and then you'll be able to see, oh, I'm getting losses. I've lost 13 cans here, or 17, or 88. So then we'd start flagging, hey, this is a real problem. This one went red. So maybe we should shut down this line and figure out why those losses are happening before it grows and becomes a bigger problem. So really, all of these data points are going back to a central location for some reporting and saying, hey, we expected 1,900-ish cans to happen. We only got 1,200. So where was the real problem? Where was the real difference? So very innovative solution that would help create some data decision making.
Perfect. Okay, and so
Sorry, this started over.
the next solution,
Right.
Go on to that, and then I'll have some more questions.
Let's see if I can go back to this. So I'll just forward this and then it should autoplay. You want me to just introduce it?
Yeah.
Okay. So the next solution we have is something called Smart Wash. That is taking a very specific part of the production line and really animating the amount of movement in each one of these stages of the washer that are important to take care for. So you'll see a lot of them have signal lights, and whether it's one or two resources are going back and forth at each one of these, looking at water pressure, chemical balance, water flow. And so there's a number of parameters over here that typically get tracked. And IPS asked, well, why not take this from a manual process, and you can see where this person is walking back and forth a lot, and why not create a solution that is artificial intelligence based? So collect all this data and also effectively monitor some of these. So if we could collect this data and put in flow meters that can be adjusted, we can now take that data and effectively change how the water is flowing, how the air pressure is flowing, how the chemical balance is, and really optimize this so none of these lights in the artificial intelligence version would actually go red. You would see a trend where it's starting to track out of what is a typical operating solution, and it would self-correct. As you'll see in the next set of videos here, where we actually start embedding AI instead of kind of seeing this person run back and forth and do this here. So now we're going to look at the AI version of this. and see where we can actually start collecting the data. And you can see where visually this is kind of representing how the data would flow. We're tracking all of these same parameters, but now we can see when things are starting to go out of bounds, and the system is kind of self-correcting.
And so what would you say to someone who is worried about the advent of AI and whether or not it's going to replace people in the production process?
Well, we've had conversations with customers about that. We really see this as an enhancement to their current resources. So maybe that resource is on multiple machines, and if they feel comfortable with the data and how this is happening and how it's being controlled with their oversight, then maybe they can be more effective in another area of the plant, which maybe has a little more concern, and maybe some of these solutions you can't put on those other pieces of technology. So why not disperse your resources in a more effective area if you feel comfortable with these types of solutions?
Perfect. And so when do these solutions go live?
So we are in the process of talking to some customers right now to really understand what specifically would they feel comfortable tracking. We certainly have our parameters, but I would say later towards the end of the year, we will have these in plants running. We already have a roadmap with some customers. I just don't know the exact timing, but they're really open to the idea. They love the idea of what this can really do for them.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you guys.